We are live, back at it again.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what has it been? 3 weeks? 3 weeks?
Yeah, two or three. I think three actually.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, life, life comes at you like that sometimes.
Yeah, just been so busy and this StreamYard not working.
Yep, yeah, a combination of just being busy and infinite technical difficulties. See, I can't even speak.
It's left you speechless.
Right?
Well, hello, everyone. If you have not been here before, I am Big Bubba Brogdon,
Yes, I am Bushingo, the Luchador.
and we are the Bad Brothers, and this is the Babyface Breakdown. A weekly podcast, hopefully continuing next week with no difficulties, that we'll talk about weekly wrestling news across different types of promotions and possibly a topic if we have one.
Yeah, yeah. So got a lot to I don't know, a lot of content over the past 3 weeks that we really haven't touched on. The first thing that comes to mind, I guess for me, would be Revolution, which was the pay per view. What was it? Was that a week ago?
Last Saturday, I believe. Last Sunday.
Yeah, last Sunday. Did you get a chance to sit down and watch that?
I watched a little bit. I did.
This is the first wrestling pay per view in a long time where I did not skip a single thing.
Really?
Yep, watched the entire thing from beginning to end, and I was pretty overall. I was pretty entertained. I was pretty happy with it. I think it's one of the better pay per views in general, but definitely one of the better AEW pay per views. Just solid up and down. Didn't really even the stuff that I thought I would be skipping. Just didn't happen, man. Before I realized that I'd watched the whole thing. Case in point, I'd say Jungle Boy and Christian. Thought that was going to be a skip for me, but before I knew it, I was sucked in and having a good time.
Well, Revolution was definitely a thing that you liked. I didn't like it for certain reasons.
Yeah. What are your gripes?
It's just AEW. They are still a young company, to which they need to get the camera angles right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, not to do the back and forth AEW versus WWE, but those are the two biggest promotions, and they both have some serious camera work problems.
I mean, if you want to, speaking of which, the ladder match, you don't want people at home. People live will see it regardless, but people at home, you want to get them tuned in. Like, oh my god, this is happening. This is happening. I couldn't be so much distracted during the ladder match when Hobbs was going up to grab the briefcase that there were 3 referees holding the ladder.
Yeah, I'm going to hold this for you. Which, I mean, I guess in a way it makes sense because part of the referee's job is to keep the wrestler safe, but that doesn't, I don't know. I'd prefer they not do that. Traditionally, that hasn't been the case. You go up the ladder, like the whole match you're on your own. The ref's just there to call breaks and be there in case you submit or count the 1, 2, 3.
Right.
So, yeah, I would prefer that they not do that. But like I said, in kayfabe, I guess you could explain why they're doing that with, part of the job being to keep the wrestlers safe and protected. So,
yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of things I did like. There was one thing I didn't like during the first match, which was the AEW World Championship match. Was it the last match? I think that was that was the last match.
Yeah, the main event was MJF versus
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have said this too. Just him. I know he's a heel, but just throwing anything at a kid, especially like
I absolutely loved that spot. I absolutely loved it. You know, long history of kids taking the back end of some heel work. I don't have a problem with it at all. Especially, I don't know if you heard, but the kid from what I've read, the kid that had the water thrown in him he was invited backstage, and he got to. I'm sure they probably gave him some freebies. So that more than makes up for it. I don't know if you remember the $1 Million Man back in the day. Basically, there was some shtick where he brought a kid out
and did the basketball.
Yeah, to like win some money. It was totally cruel to the kid, but that kid as well, I believe, from what I've read, got to go backstage and meet a bunch of wrestlers and got free stuff. And yeah, it wasn't part of the show. It wasn't like pre-planned or anything like that. But in order to make sure there were no hard feelings, they did the right thing and took the kid back and let him, get a little tour and meet some wrestlers and stuff. So that's cool, man. If I'm a kid, I'm not going to be upset by that. Like I would think it was awesome. So.
Yeah, I get it. And
but I mean, I understand, people not really being into that. I could get where somebody would be a little perturbed, especially if it's your kid.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I was the kid's father, scripted, not scripted, anything, dude. I don't care if I get knocked out by MJF or not. I would have beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think putting myself in the parents' situation and putting my kid, which I actually have a kid, so putting my kid in that kid's shoes, I think my reaction would be very dependent on the kid's reaction. So if it upset my kid, then yeah, we would probably have some problems. If he just kind of laughed and was having a good time and thought it was fun, which I honestly think, he's pretty young, but I think if you threw a cup of water in his face right now, he'd probably laugh and clap and have a good old time. So yeah, I think it would just depend for me, on what the kid's reaction was.
What'd you think of the opening match then with the Lucha Brothers and Jay Briscoe versus Varsity Athletes and Ari Davaria?
It wasn't bad. I have kind of I don't know, man. I'm having a bit of a problem with the trios division in AEW, and it's not really so much a problem. It's just the bar for trios matches in AEW, to me, in my opinion, has been set pretty high. We had the best of 7 series with the Elite and Death Triangle, which overall, the vast majority of those matches were pretty great, pretty phenomenal. Watching those two teams go at it, like I said, has really spoiled me and really set the bar pretty high for trios matches. I do think the House of Black versus the Elite was pretty great as well. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, the match, this match, Lucha Brothers, Mark Briscoe, Varsity Athletes and Ari Daivari. It was good, but it didn't touch those other matches I just mentioned. So, wasn't wowed by it, but I had a good time.
Yeah. What was there? There was the AEW Trios Championship match between Elite and House of Black. I thought that was great.
Yeah, Yeah,
I
Sue
do like
Pinvis.
that Kenny Omega, where he hit her off the stage.
Mhm.
He was just like,
Yeah.
He's like-
Shouldn't have been on the apron.
he's like, you know what? It happens.
Yeah, that was a good response. I don't know if you'll recall. I think the Young Bucks were going for the is it the Meltzer driver? Is that the one where they do the front flip into the spike pile driver?
I think it was a top rope move.
Say it again.
It was definitely a top rope move, but Matthews caught him.
Yeah, with a knee to the face, out of a front flip. So one of the Young Bucks did a front flip face first into into a knee, and that was a pretty intense spot, man. I really like that spot. So yeah, great match though. Glad House of Black finally got some gold. So that's a good outcome. Had Ricky Starks and Chris Jericho. It was a pretty good match. Ricky Starks got the win on that. So
yeah. Whew. Yeah, I was more interested in the AEW Women's Championship match.
Yeah, not a bad. That was another one. I mentioned Jungle Boy Christian. Thought I would skip that one. Ended up watching it, having a good time. This one I planned on skipping. I really didn't have any interest in it. Still don't have much interest in it. I didn't skip it though. It was a good time. It was a good match. Probably one of my least favorite on the card, if not my least favorite on the card. Just not really enjoying the storyline stuff, that's going on. We've had Tony Storm and Saraya going around acting like Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Yeah, they've even they now have been calling themselves the Outcasts. So you got the Outcast, Outsiders.
Come on.
They're kind of taking over the show and destroying the cameras, taking them out of the cameraman's hands. They're carrying spray paint and spray painting the bodies of their fallen opponents. It's a bit on the nose, man. It's not even done. It's not even done well. It doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. They're going after what they're referring to as homegrown talent. So I guess that means talent that didn't come over from WWE. So like AEW originals, people that did not come over
off the company.
Yeah, which I don't know. I mean, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because Saraya had the opportunity to go back to WWE. She came to AEW. So it's weird to have this we're going after the AEW people. Why? What is the motivation? But I guess in that match we had Ruby Soho join up with Tony Storm and Saraya.
Yeah.
New member of the Outcast, and she cut a promo, on I believe Dynamite this past week, talking about the reason that she did it, and it ultimately amounted to, the AEW audience did not cheer me the way that I wanted them to cheer me. It's kind of kind of weird way to get some cheers. It's like now she's. I mean, if cheers are what you were after, you're not going to get them this way. And it's just weird motivation to be like, oh, you didn't cheer me enough. You didn't chant my name enough. So
wasn't that whole Mustafa Ali's thing in WWE?
Could be. I haven't watched Mustafa Ali since the 205 Live days.
Okay, that was his whole thing with Retribution, is that he wasn't getting enough love.
Oh, well, it's because you suck. So,
Dang.
a generic, cookie cutter, don't do anything that 10 other guys don't do, twice as good. So,
All right. What about the Moxley Page match? Texas Death Match.
yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good one. I don't like Adam Page. I hate that he was victorious in that. But yeah, good match, man. Good match. Of course, you had Moxley's, thing. A lot of blood. So I did rather enjoy seeing him go in on Adam Page's forehead with that fork.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, there was a lot of brutal moments. The barbed wire stuff.
Yep.
Just dragging barbed wire across the guy's back. Across his back.
Yeah. Yeah, good match though, man.
What about Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the TNT Championship?
Yeah, also a good match for what it was. Two big guys. It was better than the Wardlow Hobbs match that followed it.
I hated that match. I really did.
Yeah, not good. I mean, the only thing about that match was seeing Wardlow do a front flip through a table. I wasn't expecting that. That caught me off guard.
I just thought it was so stupid, the entire match on Dynamite. The fact that they didn't use ring gear.
Yeah. And the angle with Wardlow, apparently Wardlow had his car broken into and had all of his things stolen, thus, no ring gear this week. I don't know what they're trying to imply there.
Like someone's outside Wardlow now.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's weird. You're about to start feuding with the black guy, and then your car gets broken into, and all your things get stolen. So I don't know. Hopefully, that's not what they're going for.
I'd hope not either.
Yeah.
What about the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match between Jarrett and Lethal, Guns, Acclaimed, and Cassidy and Hazen?
Yeah, good match, man. Pretty entertaining. I really, I think my favorite team in that match is Jarrett and Lethal. I really hope they. Yeah, they're a great team, man. I like what they got going on right now. So hopefully they stick together for a little while and get a little bit of a push behind them. I wouldn't mind. It's early because I like the Guns being the tag team champions right now. I'd like them to keep it for a little while. I think that could really bump them up. And be a good thing for them and for their careers. So I don't want them to drop the titles anytime soon. But when they do, I don't know, man. I think it'd be kind of cool to see Jarrett and Lethal get a little push, get a little run.
Yeah. What about Sanjay Dutt coming into the ring?
The Sanjay Dutt stuff is, I don't know. I'm not particularly crazy about the faction, the Lethal and Jarrett are in. I don't really care about Sanjay Dutt very much. And then the big guy that's with him, whose name I can't remember, would probably botch it if I did. Yeah, those guys I could do without. Not particularly big on the group. I'm more focused on Jeff and Lethal.
Yeah. So. What do you think of the entrances of Revolution? Do you think the entrances for the matches were good?
I mean, they were okay. I don't know. The MJF entrance really, I think, kind of stole the show, and it even, I mean, it wasn't fantastic, you know. Um, it was just something extra. It was something special, something different. It wasn't just the run of the mill, which I'm kind of for. I think, you know, seeing these big entrances, these where you have a band or a symphony orchestra, or just doing something a little bit different tends to be more common at pay-per-views now. So just keep that a pay-per-view thing. But yeah, I mean, it was they were all good, but none of them were really like fantastic or that memorable. I think the only one I will remember years from now is probably the MJF entrance. But that's, I think, everything to do with the MJF Danielson match is going to be one to remember, for years to come.
Oh yeah,
I loved that match, man. That was hour long. I never lost interest, never got bored, never wanted to fast forward, and that was after sitting through the whole pay per view.
Yeah.
Just fantastic match, man. I think we sometimes talk about WWE being better storytelling than AEW, and AEW being a little bit more better in the wrestling department. Just if you're looking for wrestling, you go to AEW. You want storytelling, you go to WWE. And typically what I've meant by that and mean by that is, with WWE, the drama aspect, the soap opera aspect, the angles tend to be a bit better usually, and a bit more of the focus. The Danielson MJF match, there wasn't really a whole lot of that, drama, soap opera. There was some, but not very much. The feud or the build up for it just started. But the wrestling was fantastic. The in-ring storytelling during that match was fantastic. So storytelling within kind of like the ballet of wrestling, the actual art, of storytelling through essentially combat,
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of that in that match, man, and that's part of what kept me for the entire hour after sitting through the whole pay-per-view. That's one thing that kept me engaged and kept me interested in having a good time, was the storytelling throughout that match was just fantastic. You had Danielson selling the shoulder the whole time, MJF selling the knee the whole time. They both were pretty consistent with that. They both did great jobs of targeting their opponent's weakness and injury. MJF pulling out the heel moves, and hit Danielson with the oxygen tank behind the ref's back. Classic heel move. But yeah, it was great, man. My only real complaint wasn't really so much with the match itself, but kind of to what I touched on a minute ago. The build up for this match has not been going on for very long. We just started this, So I think it's kind of odd to start off with an hour long, Iron Man match to start. What I would like to see is, a little feud here. I think Danielson deserves a rematch. So like I wouldn't have placed the hour-long Iron match as the first match. I would have liked to have seen just a regular rules wrestling match for the first go down, and build to this. You could have, followed just a regular match with this, or you could have, had a regular match, and then the second match be a slightly different stipulation.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of build to it. So that would be my only real complaint, man. Is I would have liked to have seen it come later in a series of matches. So
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Did you see MJF? I think a few days after Revolution, he had a picture online that was his eye is
like bruised or what?
Well, it's swollen. He had a a cut on his forehead from the headbutt. Wink, wink. But some of the blood had like pooled under his skin and like migrated down into his eye. So his eye was like super swollen. It was red and puffy, man. It looked like you could just tap it, pop it. So yeah, I didn't realize that was possible. I didn't know that was a thing. Like you could have something like that happen. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch the scrum, the kind of post Revolution?
A little bit. I watched the MJF segment, but that was it.
Yeah, same. I didn't watch any of it except for the MJF stuff, which I thought was really good. And now he's about to be re-bar mitzvah.
Yeah. Re-bar mitzvah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Another kind of weird thing. I don't know if anybody else thinks it's weird, but you've got MJF who calls himself the devil being re-bar mitzvah, because he's Jewish. So maybe another, questionable decision there from AEW. You got, Wardlow getting robbed while going into a feud with the black guy. Now you've got the devil being re-bar mitzvah.
I know. It's weird, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But let's see. There's something about Tony Khan. I'm trying to find his tweet about him spoiling the a little championship change that's coming up at Dynamite. Possibly.
Yeah, I haven't seen the supposed spoiler.
Let's see.
While you're
find it, I can't find it.
Looking for that, I'm gonna show off this guy. New pickup for me, man. The camera will.
Rhodes.
Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, I don't know how to get the camera to focus, but making a wild face. But yeah, man, new pickup today. Say it again.
I have a Dusty. He doesn't wear the polka dots. He's got the. Let me see if I can go get him. My God, Dusty. It's an older Dusty. I got Dusty.
Nice. Yeah, I've got one more. I think it's the one that came out not long ago.
It's got eagle boots. Yeah. Did you see the? Did you go to Walmart lately? They have a new.
Yep, they had what was it, 90? Was it 97?
I think it's 97. Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah. Did you pick him up?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Did you see him there?
Oh yeah, there's only one.
Yep. So you went by then, and I believe John followed after you, and he got the Chainsaw Charlie.
Really?
Yeah. And
That
then
was
I came in behind him, and that was the only one I was looking for. So.
yeah. I went today around
Oh, that
6.
was today.
Yeah, I went
Okay.
around 6.
They must have put another one out. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to run.
there's one there.
Okay. Okay.
There's lots of
Yeah.
King Woods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was days ago. Whenever we went by. Yeah, John made it to him before me.
Yeah, there was one there.
Nice. I've got one or two Terry Funks, but they're the old Jacks, which I like. Man, the Jacks, those old Jacks have some pretty good head sculpts.
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the figures, I'm not so crazy about the oversized muscles and the poor articulation, but yeah, Jack said some cool stuff though.
All right, we are in WrestleMania season. So
Yeah.
we're currently less than 20 days away from WrestleMania Night 1, which is on April 1st. Horrible day to have anything is on April 1st.
Yeah.
Can I help you? Think about having a dog that likes to sleep in your bed. It decides whenever to go to bed. Barges into your room. Yeah, we're about 20 days away from WrestleMania Night 1 on April 1st. Oh. And it looks like that we have a host for WrestleMania this year, which was announced 2 nights ago on Raw, or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We have our WrestleMania host being The Miz.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. He's been kind of in the middle of the thing with Logan Paul and Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's been kind of weird having him in the middle. Like having him as a guest referee might be pretty cool.
Or interferes and cost Rollins the match, trying to get stuff figured out with Logan Paul.
Yeah, that could happen as well.
And we got some WrestleMania matches announced. We have Lesnar versus Omos, which I'm not very excited about.
Nah, I don't really expect a lot out of that.
No, apparently Vince McMahon came up with that one.
Sure that he did.
And then we have a triple threat match, women's triple threat match at WrestleMania between Damage Control, and Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. Which, if you haven't seen yet, or because we haven't talked about this about 2 weeks ago still, Becky and Lita won the tag team titles.
Yeah. Really didn't see that coming.
I didn't either. And you know what? It's kind of fun to see Lita wrestling again.
Yeah. Yeah. Little rusty.
Oh,
but not bad.
Definitely not. Keep hitting as we have 2 women's championship matches announced between the Elimination Chamber winner Asuka and Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title. And then we have the SmackDown Women's title coming up from the Royal Rumble winner Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, the champion.
Yeah.
2 major matches.
we'll see how good they are. Um,
I'm expecting Rhea and Charlotte to take the night.
yeah, that one will be a pretty good match, I think. Yeah, the other one, I don't know. I'm not so big on Bianca Belair. Like she's not bad, but
I'll just watch for Asuka.
yeah, I'm a fan of Asuka. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a feeling Belair is gonna retain though. I don't know. I'm not seeing them switching over to Asuka right now. So
And Charlotte and Rhea have had this rivalry for what, like 3 years?
yeah, has been going on for a while.
Yep. Ever since since Charlotte challenged Rhea to the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania 36.
Okay. I don't even know if I watched that.
Yep. And so they've had this rivalry going on for a long time. And of course, you have Rollins versus Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul versus Reigns, I did not expect to be a good match, and it ended up still in the night. So Rollins being a better wrestler than Reigns, I think that's a potential for another still in the night.
Yep.
I think they could have a really great match.
And the fact that he's gone against now 2 former members of the Shield.
Yeah. So after this run, we're gonna have
Logan Paul going to AEW in a barbed wire death match.
Exploding barbed wire death match.
Yes, hopefully we'll get one this time.
Yeah. I would actually, I don't know. Now I'm kind of hyped for something we just made up. Yeah, because I would like to see that.
Oh yeah, announced last Monday, your boy, yours, Mitch, or Boosh, or yours,
Yes,
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory, indeed.
Came out to interrupt John Cena on Monday Night Raw.
Yep. Yeah, that was rough, man. That was rough. I think John Cena's done much better promos than that. It was kind of weak and lazy for him. It felt. I don't know that John Cena, really takes Austin Theory seriously. I don't know. It just felt, like I said, kind of phoned in for me with John Cena. Nothing new, nothing even particular, that clever. I don't know. It was just kind of weak to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm an Austin Theory guy, and I want to see him win, which I do think he is. It's for the United States Championship, and I don't think John Cena's coming back full time, so I don't think they're gonna put the U.S. title on.
I want to go John Cena on this one.
Yeah.
I want the U.S. Open Challenge back.
I don't know.
At least get someone to do that. I like a title being defended every week.
I think it might be kind of cool to have, since again John Cena's not coming back full time, have John Cena win at WrestleMania. So they have, Austin Theory, who had that embarrassing cash in with the Money in the Bank thing, lost the U.S. title, got it back, and now he loses to John Cena, gets embarrassed. But then the next night on Monday Night Raw, you have John Cena come out, cut a promo, have Austin Theory come out, rematch right there Monday Night Raw, and just have Austin Theory take it up an extra level. When he was kind of raging about the Money in the Bank cash in, just have him kind of replay that, but turned way up, to where he's just losing it. And have him beat the mess out of John Cena, and have a definitive, and just have a definitive, but rage out, like Hulk out, and just go nuts.
Stuff up, almost getting disqualified.
Yeah, and I mean that could even be part of his thing, where he just, when he has a bad night, has a bad run, catches a loss, he just goes into rage mode and redeems himself fairly quickly. So I don't know. Either way, I'm pretty stoked. I think that match, Austin Theory versus John Cena, and the Logan Paul Rollins match are the two matches that I'm most excited about.
But are you excited about the main event of possibly night 2, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed Universal Championship?
I'm not excited about it. I do think, I don't know, I'm having Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, the memory of how I felt going into that, where it's just kind of like I'm interested, but I'm rather indifferent and not really excited, and that's how I look at the Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I'm interested.
I'm excited because I can't predict it.
Yeah, I mean, I truly don't know the outcome. I just don't know how enjoyable it will be. I'm not a huge Roman Reigns fan. He's put on some good matches, but he's not. I don't know. He's not particularly interesting or exciting to me in the ring. So.
Yeah. We can move our way on to last week's Monday Night Raw.
Sure.
We're just going to quick ride this. Baron Corbin's still a jobber. Dolph Ziggler's still a jobber. Mustafa Ali's still a jobber. Because how bad do you need to be? Take into account, Baron Corbin is a former Andre Giant Battle Royal winner, former United States champion, former general manager, the former known wrestling god.
He's also the last wrestler to beat Roman Reigns.
Last wrestler to beat Roman Reigns, former King of the Ring, and of Money in the Bank winner, and yet he loses to Chad Gable.
Yeah, well, Chad Gable is a Olympic athlete, so.
You're talking about the guy that beat Roman Reigns.
I mean, I'm also talking about bum-ass Baron Corbin.
And Dolph Ziggler losing to Omos. With Mustafa Ali kind of antagonizing him.
Yeah. And Kevin Owens and Solo Sikoa.
Yep, that match I was interested in. Sami Zayn just stealing the night all night.
Yeah, that was a good match too between those two.
Yep, and it ended up in the disqualification.
Yep.
Lashley wants Wyatt to face him, which they haven't announced it for Mania, but I think it's going to be Lashley and Wyatt at Mania.
It seems like it. I mean, that's what they're working right now. So you had last week Bobby Lashley get attacked by Uncle Howdy and then pretty much destroyed Uncle Howdy before he vanished from the ring.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Carmella and Chelsea Green are having some sort of an alliance.
Yeah, they're kind of bonding over being Karens.
Yeah, hating Asuka, in which Asuka blew the mist at Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
Which
was it green mist?
It was blue mist, I believe.
See, missed opportunity there. Chelsea Green.
Green mist.
The green mist. Yeah.
Gargano versus Balor. We had Gargano win and Edge attack Balor. I think that Balor and Edge are going to have a match at Mania.
Yeah, it seems like it. Could be good. Could be a good thing.
Let's see. There's also still things going on with Maximum Male Models and Otis.
Yeah.
So that's always fun. We had Piper Niven versus Nikki Cross, kind of a squash.
Yeah, weren't they a tag team?
Yep, they were a tag team at one point, best friends, and then just both of them went dark and went their own separate ways. It was like Cross attacked her before the match, but Niven drove her down with a power slam and pinned her within seconds. It was a quick match.
Yeah.
And we had Sami Zayn versus Jimmy Uso as the main event, which Sami Zayn beat Jimmy Uso.
Yeah.
And then we had Jey Uso come down to ringside. And so I actually was very interested on the edge of my seat because I really didn't know what Jey was going to do. I know Roman, the Friday before Raw on SmackDown, said if Jey didn't come back to the Bloodline, he would blame Jimmy.
Right.
So I think Jey saw that, and Jey made the decision and betrayed Zayn to go back with Jimmy. Which he kind of confirmed that on this last SmackDown, saying he did because he had to. He didn't want to, but he had to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like he choosing, take care of his brother. I mean, it's blood is thicker than water. So,
but it doesn't mean that he likes Roman,
right?
Which I think at Mania they might pull a whole Kenny Omega versus Adam Page Young Bucks moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But I think they're going to pull that.
It could be, man. Could be. I really don't know what they're doing, but I'm just trying to catch as much of the Bloodline stuff as I can, and it's been pretty entertaining. Hasn't let me down so far. So I'm pretty. That's an element of the, I guess, Cody match too. Is the Bloodline's involvement. If anything's gonna happen there, that might be one of them costs Roman Reigns the championship.
Yeah.
So
we had NXT Roadblock happen on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't know if I finished that. I did watch some NXT. I did start watching that show. I don't recall if I finished it or not. I know I watched the one from the week before as well. So I watched those back to back.
Well, these past weeks on NXT, you know how I talked about the open challenge stuff with Cena, the U.S. title? It looks like Wesley's doing that with the North American title a lot.
Yeah, I do recall seeing that.
Yeah. And so all over Instagram and social media, I've seen these past week that he's talked about the championship match on Tuesday. Guess who's following him around everywhere for that opportunity?
Who is it?
Axiom.
Oh, nice.
Everywhere he goes, he's Axiom, reminding him that challenge is going to be mine.
Yeah. And that could be a really good match, man. Those two, I think, could really,
Even though it will be a British guy going for the North American Championship.
Yeah, well, ain't got to make sense.
Nope. Yeah, Owen Hart as the European champion.
Yeah.
And Sheriff McMahon. But we don't remember that. But start off Roadblock, we had D'Angelo versus Dijak in the Jailhouse Street fight. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was fine, man. I guess Dijak just dislocated his finger. I don't think he broke it.
Yeah, I think he just dislocated it. So
yeah, That's crazy. That thing looked, you know,
It
looked like
was
it was definitely broken.
that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I was surprised to see him back that quickly, but then yeah, I saw that and good for him. Yeah, it was a fine match.
With D'Angelo winning.
Yeah, that was surprising because I thought Dijak was going to get it.
Yeah, but of course we had Stacks or uh, Channing
Yeah,
by D'Angelo's side, which I like Stacks. He's fine.
yeah. I don't know enough about those two. I
Um,
haven't seen a whole lot of their stuff.
it's pretty good. Um, I liked whenever they'd start doing the whole dawn of NXT.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next match we had Indus Sheer, which was Veer Mahan, it was Sangha and Jinder Mahal versus the Creed brothers and a um, special guest um, or just mystery partner.
Yeah, I didn't. I did not catch that one.
Well, the mystery partner was none other than the NXT champion Braun Breaker, and
Okay.
they have a really crazy spot with a suicide dive, with a
Yeah.
triple suicide dive, with Braun coming down the middle and the Creed brothers Xing over the ring posts onto the opposing teammates.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I wouldn't have expected to hear that from those guys.
Yeah. I like the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers are kind of my favorite thing right now in NXT
Okay.
because they were actual wrestlers and they do a lot of actual wrestling moves in the ring.
Yeah.
And their attire are just singlets and knee pads.
Yeah. I think I've only seen maybe like one of their matches.
And then just Brutus does like one of his top moves I've thought about for the longest time. I'm like, what if someone was to do like a cannonball off the top rope?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of his moves.
Okay.
He cannonballs himself.
He's a pretty big guy. Seems like it would not be very fun to take a cannonball from that dude.
No, it does not. I think I think it would hurt a lot.
Yeah.
After that, we had Joe Gacy versus Andre Chase, with Thea Hale conquering her fear of the schism.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that.
So that with Gacy winning, and it looks like Duke Hudson is questioning what Chase U really stands for.
Okay.
How many losses they're taking.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in the schism storyline. I think it was the week before I saw they did like a Chase U segment where they were in the class and they were just sitting there talking and Schism showed up on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it had this whole like Chase U, you know, kind of planting seeds and getting them to question, you know, what Chase U was all about, and kind of letting it know that they're coming after them. And I thought that was pretty cool. So it got me kind of intrigued in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch that match. How was that?
It was good. It was a good match. Joe Gacy, I'm a fan of what Joe Gacy does as well. He's really cool. He's really agile for a guy his size. I like his finisher too. Just a bounce off the rope lariat.
Yeah.
What does he call it? The crushing discus lariat. I feel like there's another name for it. But the main event of the night kind of stole the show. It was Roxanne Perez versus Miko Satomura, the final boss for the NXT Women's Championship.
Yeah. So that was a good match.
Oh yeah, it was a terrific match. Perez actually ended up winning.
Okay.
Well, right after his hand was raised, he took a few steps and collapsed in the middle of the ring.
Like kayfabe or?
Like, you know, they still had the cameras on her and wasn't cutting to anything, so. No X signs were thrown.
Huh. Yeah.
So she was rushed into an ambulance and out of the arena.
Wonder what they're gonna do with that.
I don't know. But yeah, so that was Roadblock. I thought it was good. I can't wait for Tuesday where we get possibly Axiom versus Wesley.
Yeah, that's definitely has the makings of a really good match. So hope that happens.
A lot more people had challenged Wesley. There was Trick Williams. There was Odyssey.
Yeah, the whole locker room.
Oh yeah.
All fighting in the back to see who could get out there first. I think that night it was the Fraser guy. What's his name?
Yeah, Frazier got the opportunity, but it was like Baba Cato, Apollo Crews, Trick Williams, Drew Gulak just trying to rush and get there.
Yeah, I did see that.
It reminds me of the 24/7 championship.
Yeah.
But like the mix with the U.S. title open challenge.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's move over to SmackDown, where we have, just in context, that the Banger Bros are apparently no more.
Man. So maybe that means the name is free, and we can change our name to the Banger Bros. Or we could call it the Banger Brothers.
Ever change their name to the Banger Bros?
We'll have to call it the Banger Brothers.
You and John could be the Banger Brothers. I'm not the Brothers. No, I'm kind of glad that's over with. It's actually really cool that Sheamus and McIntyre are kind of in a feud again.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had really good storyline writing with it. Talk about McIntyre always going behind Sheamus's back, always stealing what he's doing. You know, Celtic Warrior.
They're
throw kick, Claymore kick.
Yeah, I mean that could be good.
And it ended up with. Did you see SmackDown?
I didn't. No, I didn't.
It ended up with a fatal 5-way match to determine Gunther's Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania. So Gunther will have a match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, as he will defend it. He is at 275 days right now. He's more than halfway there to being the longest reigning champion, which is held by Honky Tonk Man for 454 days.
Yeah, I don't see him dropping the title, no matter who it is.
But that's the interesting thing. We had a fatal 5-way match between Karrion Kross, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Xavier Woods, and LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
And the very confusing winners, too, were McIntyre and Sheamus, pinning Knight and Woods at the same time. And so this Friday is going to be a match between the two to determine Gunther's opponent.
Okay. Yeah, I think he retains, man.
Either he retains or Sheamus wins.
I'm putting my money on retains.
We have a faction war going on right now between Legado del Fantasma and Judgment Day, as Fantasma stands up to Dominic, and is, Rey Mysterio is their ally. So Zelina Vega's a face, and so is Escobar.
Okay.
Which led to a really good tag team match where Legado del Fantasma fell short against the Judgment Day. But both teams were really good in that match.
Okay.
And once again, Dominic Mysterio's been eager to have Ray punch him, show some signs of aggression.
Right.
This Friday, God, I'm so used to having SmackDown on Tuesdays. I'm living in the past of SmackDown Live. Rey Mysterio once again tried to get Dominic. Dominic tried to get Ray to punch him, and Ray turned his back on Dominic, going through the ropes or tempting Dominic to punch him. So Dominic comes towards the ropes to go after Mysterio, and Mysterio leans down from the ropes and dupes Dominic out of the ring, which is one of the most disrespectful things to do.
Yeah. And they just announced Rey Mysterio's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame.
Yep. Which I think will lead to Mysterio versus Mysterio.
Yeah, man. If they don't use that Hall of Fame induction, just keep the storyline going with the Mysterios to then, and you need to have Dominic come out and in some way interrupt the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Or like he's the one inducting.
Yeah, he needs to be involved with that somehow, and use that to get more heat, advance that storyline, and let them, hash it out at a later date. But
speaking of heat, you know what I'd really love to see that would give Dominic much more heat?
So
if they go into a match at WrestleMania, Rey Mysterio comes out first. Dominic Mysterio comes out to Eddie Guerrero's theme song.
Yeah.
It'd be nostalgic, and God, the boos in that arena.
Yeah.
It'd be a low blow, like way below the belt.
Yep. Yeah, man. Do the Hall of Fame interruption, and then the match, and have him come out to Eddie Guerrero's music. It'd do the whole thing, come out in a car, bouncing car.
God,
yeah. That would be money. It would be so much money.
God, I'd hate it, but I'd love it.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that Dominic is one of the more entertaining aspects of Raw now, because
we were hating him.
Yeah. I mean the even after the initial heel turn, I mean it still wasn't good for a minute. But now, it's one of my favorite things about WWE at the moment.
I still think his wrestling needs a little work, but just
totally. Nothing that I enjoy about Dominic has anything to do with his in-ring ability. It's all the storyline stuff, and Rhea Ripley being there, as mommy, has just led to a lot of like really good moments. Him getting arrested and now doing the whole ex-con, I've lived a hard life. I did hard time. It's hilarious. Yeah, so I'm on board for that. Give me some more of that.
Yeah. We had the Viking Raiders versus Strowman and Ricochet in a tag team match, both suffering major losses, with Raiders losing to the former Banger Bros a couple weeks ago, and Strowman and Ricochet losing to the Usos before Elimination Chamber. So, and it looks like the Viking Raiders pulled off the win, with Valhalla distracting Ricochet a little bit and pinning Ricochet.
That's cool. I haven't really enjoyed the Viking Raiders since before they came to WWE. They used to be. I don't know if you've seen any of their Ring of Honor stuff as War Machine, but man, they were pretty fantastic then. Yeah, ever since they come to WWE, hasn't really done anything for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of those weird, teams or wrestlers that just doesn't transition well. The name change, I think, hurt them a pretty good bit for me too. The Viking Raiders.
I like them better in NXT when they were Hanson and Rowe, the War Raiders.
Yeah, I like that better.
Their names kind of changed, but their tag team name stayed the same.
Yeah, but yeah, the Viking Raiders and the just the Viking kind of gimmick. I don't know. Back in Ring of Honor too, they weren't really doing the Viking stuff. They were just like two really big, burly, hard hitting guys who would like beat the mess out of you.
You know what I miss that they did for a short amount of time? Was when Harper and Rowan changed their gimmick to the Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Back in 2017, 2018.
Yeah, I was a fan of that, man. I like both those guys, of course, in the Wyatt family. But I wanted them to be successful and, get a good run. They just never did. But Rowan Harper was always one of my favorites. But Rowan, what he was doing with the sheep masks when they were doing the Bludgeon Brothers, both of them really, because Harper would wear.
Harper had this like bear skull.
Yeah.
And just Rowan would have this like kind of electric type monocled goat mask.
Yeah, it was like a modified version of the sheep mask that he wore when he was in the Wyatt family.
And just
he had a bunch of different ones, and like I don't know, maybe he just would continuously kind of alter it. So each time you saw it, it had like something added onto it, or it had been kind of changed slightly. It was never really exactly the same thing.
Right.
But it was these variations of the sheep mask. They were really, really cool, man. And yeah, their look, and just being two really big guys and two guys that could wrestle, that I was a fan of. Man, so wanted them to do well, but they never really got a fair shake.
No, I just loved it when they were the Bludgeon Brothers. One of the funniest moments in wrestling history came out of them when they faced two local competitors and they just powerbombed this guy and he had like the girliest scream.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that.
Oh God, I gotta find that clip. I was just laughing the entire time. But I love the name, I love the gimmick, and that's second to favorite version of Harper and Rowan as a tag team. Wyatt family is first.
Yeah, Wyatt family was fantastic, man.
Back to SmackDown. We off topic. We had Charlotte Flair versus Shotzi Blackheart, or just Shotzi. That was just a throwaway match.
Yeah, I could have guessed.
It was just a match to where Charlotte gets a little bit more momentum. Rhea's to ringside and takes shots at Charlotte. Charlotte takes shots back. So that's all that was. And then that was basically the main event. There was no other match after that. Then there was Jimmy and Jay coming out to represent the Bloodline, telling them why they did it, what they're doing. They say they're trying to get rid of the Sammy Owens problem and focus on the Rhodes problem.
Okay.
And so Cody Rhodes comes out, cuts a little bit of promo against them, coming down to ringside, taking off their jacket. Uso's ready to fight, and out comes Sami Zayn from ringside, or like from the stands, and attacks Jey Uso.
So you got essentially kind of Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes all being kind of linked together now at this point.
Yeah.
Not necessarily friends per se, but a common interest. I don't know if it was. I'm trying to remember what It was on one of the shows recently. They showed a backstage segment with the Otis and the male model stuff going on, and in the background, kind of off in the distance, it was Kevin Owens and
Cody Rhodes
having a conversation,
arguing about something.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like a pretty intense conversation they were having. Of course, we don't know what they were saying because we weren't even necessarily focusing on that. That was just something in the background. But, you know, with this week, we had Kevin Owens, getting a beat down from the Bloodline or from Jimmy and Solo after their match. And Sammy coming out and making the save, And now you essentially have the same thing happening on SmackDown with Cody Rhodes. So that's kind of interesting,
Yeah. I want to talk to you about something. We don't talk about NXT Level Up a lot. But you know what? Our good friend Quincy Elliott made his return on Friday.
Man. I unfortunately subjected my eyes to that, and it was
versus Scripps.
Yeah, pretty cringy stuff. Not a fan.
I believe the winner was Quincy Elliott. Which makes me even more puts even more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, I mean, Scripps should have won that. But I don't know. He was getting pelted with Quincy's boobies. So I guess that was enough to. I'm sure he just didn't want to do it anymore. I'm not gonna kick out. I want this to be over. I just got slapped in the face with another man's breast.
And Elliot wasn't even wearing like his purple suit or anything. He just had makeup on, a little thing here, and just a fur like long sleeve jacket.
Yeah.
And showing his butt off and everything. While Scripps was all business. I'm actually watching the match to rewatch to make sure that I was right. Yeah, Scripps lost to Quincy Elliott.
Man.
Which puts bad taste in my mouth and probably yours.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
But hopefully we don't ever see him on the main NXT card again. Dear God, don't let him win a title.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's watching for that.
Apparently a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are behind it. And I'm like, really?
I don't know. I've yet to come across any love for Quincy on the internet. It's everything I've encountered has been pretty much in line with what I think about him. So
apparently he has his fans.
Yeah, I mean,
he gets his family, but he has his fans. Well, half his family. Yeah, that's all the WWE news I got.
Yeah. Did you watch Dynamite?
I did a little bit, but I turned it off after the atrocious match that was Hobbs versus Wardlow.
Okay, so you didn't watch beyond that?
No. Again, it made me just as mad as, Cage versus Jungle Boy.
Yeah, I wasn't that angry, but
because I like Wardlow. Yeah. I like Wardlow just as much as I like Hobbs and Cage. I like the big guys.
Yeah. Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. Nothing too special there.
Yeah.
Sky Blue and Ruby Soho. That's touched on Ruby Soho earlier. She cut a promo and did all the things I said she did earlier, and segued from that into go ahead and bring out my next. Speaking of rookies, go ahead and bring out my next opponent, and it was Sky Blue.
Yeah.
She pretty much destroyed Sky Blue, and the other girls came out. The Outcast did the spray paint thing, and I guess they were. I don't know. Did they get interrupted by what's her name? Willow. Yeah, Willow came out and tried to kind of talk some sense into Ruby Soho because apparently they used to be a team. And then Soraya and Tony Storm jumped her from behind.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing their.
Just whenever you say the Outcast, I think of the Social Outcast.
Yeah.
Which was Dallas, Heath, Paige, and Axel.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. FTR did a little thing where they talked. Didn't really care about that. I love FTR as wrestlers. They have good matches, but not really crazy about when they speak. I do kind of miss the Pinnacle days. Because the Pinnacle was good, had a lot more potential than they ever got to really show. But having MJF kind of be the mouthpiece for that, and even Tully Blanchard.
Yeah,
being with them and doing all the talking. Those were good days. Just not a big fan of the FTR promos.
Yeah.
AR Fox and Top Flight versus the Jericho Appreciation Society.
I'm guessing our theory about FTR coming back at Mania is a flop.
Say that again.
I guess our FTR Uso idea for Mania is a flop.
Yeah, it seems. In that promo, they said AEW was the best wrestling company in the world, and seems like they're back. I think there was a lot of rumors that they were going back to WWE, and I think some of that stuff was coming from FTR themselves, their social media. They were making these posts that were worded a certain way, or I know I think Dax posted a picture of something unrelated, but if you looked like barely in the bottom left-hand corner of the picture, he had a WWE business card sitting on his countertop. And so there are people like trying to kind of, point to all of the right. Yeah. And I think FTR purposely kind of fed into that. I think they were doing those things on purpose to, kind of get one over on the smarks, people who think they know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, that I think they're sticking with AEW.
Maybe.
Yeah, that was what's that?
I said maybe.
Yeah.
We don't fully know. They could be pulling one over on us again.
Yep. That's half the fun. But the AR Fox Top Flight Jericho Appreciation Society match was pretty good.
Yeah. Dynamite next week we'll have a triple threat, trios tag team match.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool little segment with the Elite, House of Black,
Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah, Yeah. So basically, House of Black saying, that the Elite and the Jericho Appreciation Society, think that they're both number one contenders and deserve a title shot. So House of Black's giving it to them, at the same time. So there's going to be a three-way match, which is pretty cool. You had Jericho Appreciation Society in the middle of the ring. The Elite come out. So they're at the top of the ramp. Lights go off, and then House of Black appears in between them. Basically sets up the match, and then lights go off, come back on, and House of Black's gone. So,
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, Alex Reynolds and John Silver versus John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a pretty good match. Yeah, I mean they had Adam Page come out and Blackpool all ganged up on him, beat him down. So that was pretty satisfying to watch.
I bet it was. I didn't see any of that. I'm actually about to look it up.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. And all those guys, Yuta, Moxley, even Claudio, and they're pretty good at selling that stuff. So it actually looked like a pretty good beatdown. Looked pretty brutal, and commentary kind of played it up like it was,
like a massacre.
Yeah. So hopefully that's like more of a thing with Blackpool. They'll, start ganging up on people and just, beating the mess out of people.
Making them a heel team.
Yeah. Why not, at this point?
Yeah, Regal's gone. I don't see any direction they're going for the trios titles at all. No titles.
No, and currently I think, coming off the Adam Page match, Adam Page is still playing the babyface. So I think Moxley kind of ends up heel by default.
Yeah.
So makes sense. I'd be down to see it. But yeah, then you had the Hobbs Wardlow match, and I think that was it. So
yep, Hobbs Wardlow match made me very mad. Just God, the guys I like holding titles just can't catch a break.
yeah,
Just big guys I like in general can't catch a break. Which I like Hobbs. I do.
yeah. I mean, I was about to say all those guys. Hobbs or Wardlow. Like you said, I like them about the same. I am probably a bigger fan of Brian Cage, but I do like Wardlow and Hobbs about the same degree. So I don't know. I'm not particularly invested in that because outside of, good for them because I think they're good and whoever's holding the title, either Wardlow or Hobbs, either one deserves it. So, the TNT title does seem like it flip flops pretty often, and I don't know if that's by design, if they think that that's a good idea, to kind of keep interest week to week. You never know, what's going to happen, but I don't know. I feel like you're playing hot potato with it.
Yeah. I didn't watch any of Rampage.
Yeah, me neither. I rarely do.
You watch Ring of Honor?
Not this past week. I did watch one of the episodes of Honor Club, uh, the new Ring of Honor. I'm trying to remember, kind of drawing a blank on anything from the show. Not really. I do remember thinking that it felt like Ring of Honor, because it's its own thing now, and it didn't feel like AEW presents Ring of Honor. It felt like the old Ring of Honor. So,
All right. Did you see a match announced for the AEW Tag Team Championships? Briscoe finally relinquishing the title.
no.
So there will be a Tag Team Championship match, a Reach for the Sky ladder match. The first team announced is the Lucha Bros, Phoenix and Pentagon.
Okay. Or what is there? Is there is it just a ladder match? Is there something special? Okay. They're just gonna call it a Reach for the Sky. Okay. Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it had to happen. Mark Briscoe can't really hang on to those by himself. So,
yeah,
Lucha Brothers are awesome. So, be interested to see what other teams are announced and in that.
But there's not many teams in the division right now because it's a small show.
Yeah.
But as far as I can see, the teams that I do see are Castle's team that could possibly be in it. I forget what those two guys' names are.
The boys? Yeah, I don't know.
Who they are, the boys?
Yeah, I don't know if they have another name but I know, back when they were just kind of coming out and fanning him and letting him walk all over them, they were just his boys.
Yeah, that's really the only team I see other than Wheeler and Harwood and maybe Jericho and Garcia.
Yeah.
Or even Casanoli and Yuta.
Yeah.
But, Casanoli and Yuta are already champions, so I wouldn't put them in the match.
Yep.
Yep, so that's happening. But what'd you see?
I was trying to find the episode that I watched, because like I said, I can't really remember off the top of my head what matches they were. It wasn't this past week's, so it was maybe the week before. Yeah, I also watched the. You watched the A&E biographies?
I've seen a few. Huh?
There's I just saw John's comment. That's funny timing. Yeah, they have a new season of that out.
Yeah, they have the rivalries.
Yeah, well, the new season, I think the first episode was on the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that. That was pretty good.
I try to catch as much as I can. Cable is only at my work.
Yeah.
So I try to catch a little bit. They had Stone Cold and The Rock on.
Yeah.
So I caught glimpses of it. Just how polar opposite they were.
Yeah.
And just how that's still kind of the case, but not really the case. That they still talk and that they are still friends.
Right.
Have they done one on Yoko and Undertaker yet?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what rival episodes they've done. The only one that I've seen actually is The Rock and Stone Cold. But just the like whole biography episodes they've done. Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior, Roddy Piper. The NWO one was really good. They shot that, I guess, after Scott Hall passed because
He's not anymore.
yeah, well, they do show like clips from interviews, like previous interviews, where he's talking about the NWO and the formation and some of the shoot stuff from behind the scenes. But there's a point like towards the end where Kevin Nash kind of gets choked up because he was obviously filming his stuff after Scott Hall had passed. So yeah, he got kind of choked up and needed a moment. So yeah, it's pretty. I mean, you notice about midway through the show that like they're not. You're seeing all these like clips of Kevin Nash talking about what happened and Eric Bischoff talking about what happened and Hulk Hogan and telling the story, and yeah, it just kind of hits you midway through the episode that you're not really hearing from Scott Hall, and then you of course remember why, and then it's just kind of a bummer. But yeah, good episode, man. I don't know if you've ever seen. Have you seen the Monday Night War DVDs, like documentary?
No.
No.
I've seen a few things about the Monday Night War and what it meant for them and the aftermath. Like some people didn't know what was going to happen, how it was scary for a lot of people.
Well, they've got like a DVD box set, like documentary thing that's like I think it's like 3 hours long or something like that. That goes into the whole like Monday Night War thing. Really cool. I do recommend checking that out if you can find a copy. Which the A&E biography stuff I saw at Walmart. They have it on DVD by the seasons.
Really?
So that's pretty cool to be able to just pick it up that way. But yeah, the NWO episode was very similar to the Monday Night War documentary. That's why I was bringing that up. But definitely catch that if you can. Good watch.
Yeah. I did not see any NWA.
No, I didn't watch any. I've been wanting to check in on Impact and see what's going on over there. Haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, I can pull it up and see what's going on. Oh, shoot. Apparently, Taya Valkyrie is done with Impact Wrestling.
Oh yeah, I did see that. There's rumor going around that she's either going back to WWE or going to AEW. Some people think that she is going to enter into a feud with Jade Cargill or have a match with her next week or something.
You know what?
Show me like a mystery opponent.
If anyone is to take the title off of Jade, I would love it to be Taya.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome because she's awesome. So yeah, I'd be down for that. Yeah, again, I'm bummed for Impact though because they, for the life of them, man, they cannot hang on to these a lot of these wrestlers that are just I don't know if they're not getting paid enough at Impact and looking for bigger money in WWE or AEW. Maybe that's what the problem is. I'd assume Impact's probably paying some of the few that have stuck with them for many years now. Your Moose and Eddie Edwards and people like that. Mickey James. I'm sure they're paying them pretty well. I can't imagine they're not, but
Yeah.
just cool. It's interesting. I'd be interested to see where she pops up, but I do hate it for Impact for losing her because, to be fair though, I mean Impact wasn't really doing much with her. I think she was women's tag team champion recently, but she was in this like weird faction with Rosemary and Jessica Havoc. And it just didn't. I don't know. Taya, like Rosemary and Havoc, I get they kind of fit together to me, but Taya didn't really fit in with them. Just felt kind of weird. Other than that, I mean, they weren't really doing much with her, which is not what I would have done with Taya. I would have had her going after Mickey James and Deonna Purrazzo and right in the title picture.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's better than just being some mid card tag team talent.
Impact is going to present a crossover event with New Japan coming up called Multiverse United. Only the strong survive.
That's cool.
3 matches have been officially announced. One being a X Division scramble match for the championship, of course, between Frankie Kazarian, Rocky Romero, Clark Connors, Kevin Knight, Rick Swann, and champion Trey Miguel, and Frankie Kazarian. Yeah, I've already said those. Ooh.
It's pretty cool, man. I don't know. I like the New Japan crossover stuff, whether it be with AEW or Impact, because it allows me to see a little bit of New Japan without having to actually seek out, the New Japan episodes.
And another match was announced for the Impact World Tag Team Championships between Motor City Machine Guns, TMDK, Aussie Open, and the champions, the Bullet Club.
Oh, that could be pretty good, man.
And then another tag team match, 8-man tag team match. Very weird 8-man tag team match with the team of Eddie Edwards, Joe Hendry, Tom Lawler, and JR Kratos versus Fred Roser, Alex Colin? Oh, Alex Callahan. Colin? Am I reading that right? Callahan and PCO. So you're having PCO and Callahan on the same team.
Yeah. That's an interesting lineup.
So those are the only matches announced.
Cool. Well, we still got the Jay White card for somebody to play.
Yeah. We had a little matchup between Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer.
Okay.
We had a little conversation between the two.
Yeah, that makes sense. Last that I watched Impact, they were at odds with one another. So
they didn't fight in a match, but they fought.
Yeah, I did see one clip recently of Bully Ray throwing hot coffee in Dreamer's face.
We had a match between Callahan and Rhino, which ended up with Rhino taking the win.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I don't dislike the Heath and Rhino pairing and everything that they've done. But I've always seen Rhino as a bit more than what people use him as. I think he could be one of the top singles wrestlers, he's always just kind of. I mean, I know he's in his earlier days. He had some pretty high level success, but yeah, recent times, man, and he still seems to be. I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's in great shape. Still seems like he can go. So, yeah.
Yep. We had Gresham versus Kushida in a one-on-one match. Apparently a fantastic match with Kushida tapping out former Ring of Honor World Champion, and tensions rising as they showed honor, but headbutting.
Who was that?
Kushida and former Ring of Honor champion, what's his full name? Gresham? Something Gresham?
Yeah, Jonathan Gresham.
Yeah, the Cthulhu mask guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Jordan Grace's husband.
Yeah.
Go.
Which I don't get the whole Cthulhu mask, but
I don't know if there's like a backstory to that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something he likes to wear.
I guess. I mean, Cthulhu was made by one of the most racist people in the world.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Cthulhu.
H.P. Lovecraft. So, whatever, I guess.
Everything made by racists these days.
Apparently, either a racist or a sexist or a transphobic woman.
Yeah.
K. Rowling. That's the only things I can see from Impact that are really impacting on wrestling.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. We'll definitely make it a point to check out the crossover event with New Japan.
I don't have a date for it, but I just know it's happening.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's not hard to find.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check in on MLW. It's been a while since I've checked in on them lately too. So maybe
Paul is over there with John.
Say it again.
Taya Valkyrie, she is over there with her husband.
Yeah, I knew she had been over there. Did he just John Morrison? Did he just win the? Yeah. He just. I thought I'd seen that.
With the help of whatever his name is, I'll always call him Dario Cueto.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. That's cool. So yeah, it's MLW, man. Might be time to kind of bump them back up the list of priorities.
Yeah.
Check them out because it's been a while. So unfortunately, I haven't seen anything from NWA in a while. So haven't really had much of a interest in seeking them out either. So
yeah,
got to do something with that championship and get it on somebody interesting, man. I
met a fan of him today.
A fan of whom?
What's his name? The NWA champion.
Tyrus. Yeah. Brodus Clay.
Yeah, I met a fan of him today.
Really?
Yeah, we had lunch.
Okay.
He says he really likes him.
I like the guy. Okay, I don't think he's world championship material.
He says he takes his towel everywhere with him.
I mean, I would too, But yeah, I mean, I like him. Okay, I just don't think he's world champion material. I think that was a bad call. And they've had it on Cody Rhodes in recent years. They had it on Nick Aldis for a long time, and that's what they're going to have to do again in order to get some interest and some eyes back on the product.
And Cardona.
Yeah, I think Cardona would be a good pick, for sure. I think that would get some buzz.
Yeah. Hmm. Uh, we heard the news earlier, or I did, about Arn Anderson's oldest son, Barrett Anderson's recent passing. Um, there is no the cause of death is disclosed, so it's not open to the public as of now. But
Yeah, that's sad, unfortunate, man. I just heard about it right before we went on from you. So, um, hate that.
yeah, terrible news from that. Um, Also, Hardy's getting a lot of backlash recently.
Who is that?
Hardy, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy?
Yeah. Um,
I did hear he had his license suspended for 10 years. And I think he had all of his vehicles impounded.
mhm. And so people are calling him a convict, a criminal, someone that should be locked up for good.
Yeah, I hadn't seen any of the backlash stuff.
There's a lot of posts going around that he should be either in a mental ward or on high security. Just
I don't know. I mean, he does have a pretty lengthy record.
DUIs. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's been in rehab for a while now.
I don't think he's. I think he might. It's kind of hard. I don't think he will return to wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because he really did kind of rob himself of a much better career than what he's had, which he's already had a pretty great career. But man, think of the things a sober Jeff Hardy could have accomplished.
We know what sober Jeff Hardy accomplished. We've seen what sober Jeff Hardy has accomplished.
Yeah, but I mean consistently sober. You know, if he had, because there's been multiple times he's made these mistakes and really cost himself, cost his brother, um, you know, many opportunities, and it's just unfortunate, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Ultimately, it's something I wish him all the best. I hope he can get himself cleaned up, whether he comes to wrestling or not. But I do think he's got some good years left in him if he'll let this be his wake up call and truly get his act together.
Yeah.
And you got Sting in his early 60s, jumping through tables and stuff like that. So
We got Jarrett. How old's Jarrett?
he is, I think, 55.
Maybe.
Sounds.
We always talk about Jarrett's age, and we always forget.
Yeah, we talked about this not long ago because Billy Gunn was calling him an old man, and I remember Billy Gunn. Yeah, I remember Billy Gunn is older. I think Billy Gunn is 59.
Yeah, 59.
Yeah, and how old is Jeff Hardy?
Probably in his 40s.
Oh, for sure.
Jeff Hardy is 45.
Yeah, so he's still got some good years in him, man.
Yeah. And Jeff Hardy and Matt both started back in old WWE, like WWF.
Yeah.
And then some in WCW, so when they were young. Like when skinny, fast, and athletic guys are starting to be more of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Willow stuff and TNA. Yeah, they're both. I mean, they're both pretty great, man. Love the Hardys.
I think Willow was one of his more interesting gimmicks.
Yeah, I liked it, man. I wasn't watching Impact at the time, but whenever I got back into, I wasn't watching wrestling at the time, but whenever I got back into it, I went down that rabbit hole and got on a pretty hard Willow kick for a while. Yeah, it was just evolution of Jeff Hardy, you know.
I
So
mean,
it's
it
cool.
looks like he was going to do Willow in WWE.
Yeah, it'd be. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know if Willow. I'm sure Willow was a creation of Jeff Hardy, but something he created while he was working for Impact. So sometimes contracts, depending on how they're worded and whatnot, that could totally mean that Impact owns the character because it's something that he created while he was there. So I don't know. That'd be interesting to know and look into or see, who actually owns the rights, because it'd be cool, if he did that in WWE. But I don't know if that's even an option.
Willow versus Fiend. I think that was going to be something that was going to happen.
Say it again. Willow versus who?
Fiend.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could have been pretty cool.
All right. I don't have a topic for today. It's been 3 weeks officially that we have taken off doing the show, and we're very sorry for that. Again, we just had so much going on. We just had the time change. We lost an hour last night. That's probably why I'm so.
Yeah,
weird.
it's been a rough day because of that. I hate the time change.
I'm not a fan. Went to bed last night thinking it was 9:50 when it was really 10:50, and waking up at about 8 o'clock, thinking that it's 9, or like waking up at 9 thinking it's 8, or just messed my brain up.
Yeah,
it was a really bad day for me, mentally wise.
yeah. I don't know why we do this still. It just makes everybody kind of irritable for a day.
Yeah, a day to a week.
Yeah.
And the guys that go to work, because I forgot to change my clock in the car. Oh no, it's gonna be fun tomorrow morning. Because I'll wake up early tomorrow. Oh man. Anyone younger watches this and doesn't understand the troubles of waking up to a time change, just know that the spring time change is the worst.
Oh yeah. Yeah, losing that hour is definitely tough, man, because it just throws everything off. Throws everything off for a day or 2 or 7, depending on who you are.
Definitely 7. But I think that's going to do it for tonight, unless you have a topic to talk about.
No, I don't think so, man. I think that's all I really got. I think we about covered it.
Yep, we covered just about all the information we needed to cover for now. It's WrestleMania season.
Yep.
And I have pre-ordered WWE 2K23, the Icon Edition.
Nice.
Yep. So spent $140 on that.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's worth it.
Yeah, the Steiners are going to be in it, so
that's cool.
That's a plus.
Yep. Well, yeah. Guess we'll wrap it.
Yep. Thank you all for watching, and I guess watching us rambling. And talk about different things. I don't think we did anything controversial today.
Oh no, I'm sure we hit some controversial things, but luckily no one really watches, so it's it's all good. We'll get away with it for
We'll get
now.
away with it for now. Definitely someone will watch this after the time and like, hey. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'm Big Bubba Brogdon.
Yes, I am Bushdingo, the Luchador.
And we are probably going to get canceled one day or another. But we are the Bad Brothers, and thank you for tuning in for the Babyface Breakdown. And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes. Good night.
Night, y'all.